and time and space. Place and time and space. Place and time and space. Place and time and space.
People, it's a distraction. People enjoy sharing.
Keep breathing. Just report whatever's going on. 2, 1.
I know weird stuff might be a trigger for you. Weird stuff might be a trigger for you.
Weird stuff is a trigger for you.
I'll protect you.
Be a trigger for you.
Weird stuff is a trigger for
I
you.
got you. Safe and secure.
And I know weird stuff might be a trigger for you.
All right, everybody. This is The Tick. Thanks for joining us on There Is Nothing Weird About It. Today, we're joined by my usual co-host, of course, and we've got a special guest.
Hi, Tick. Glad to be here.
Yeah, hello. Did you want to introduce yourself? Sorry about that. We're having a little feedback problem there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. My name is Rupert Washington. But online, a lot of people probably know me as the Digital Patriot.
I was going to say, yep, that's a Digital Patriot, yeah.
I guess I'll get the plugs out of the way. I'm a writer for Wired Online. I'm also one of the big contributors to, I can't remember the name of the website, but it's the one with all the Q drops. But I also got my roots in, I'm sure you already know this, but I got my roots being an local NPR broadcaster. I used to have a show here in kind of outside of Cupertino, just been a longtime fan of your show, and I'm very happy to be on here and kind of spread the word about my movement and the group that I've been a part of. It kind of seems like my camera's a little fucked up here. I mean, messed up. Excuse me.
It's okay. We can say what we need to say here. I was gonna say. I mean, I've been a fan of yours as well, following the Digital Patriot, because you kind of started a lot of what became the QAnon movement, or at least kind of bringing the community together.
Yeah, I was initially I didn't even know what any of this stuff was. But I was brought on kind of as like a consultant because of the work that I've done. And they brought me on just as a community manager. So I managed the Q Discord, the Q Nighttime Radio Power Hour, just a couple other different shows. I was happy to be able to use. It was kind of an infusion of different things. I disagreed with some of it, but it really did bring together like my whole early Silicon Valley work that I did. Some of the stuff I was writing for Wired, and just brought in kind of like that old and new technical and historical, like techno-historical is what I've called it for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Brought in all those aspects, and so it was a fun job to work on.
Hashtag
they
techno.
shut the whole thing down recently, and I think they sold the rights, but it was a good project.
Hashtag tech historical, just because that's kind of how I found you. And so I mean, because I was into the Clockwork stuff. What do they people have a name for it? I kind of I got into it before it had a name.
Yeah, well, no, we used to call it, I mean, when the kind of the inner guys used to call it the cuckoo clock. We were just kind of into that sort of
it's a style, but it's like it's like I'm more into like Tesla and like the torsion field. Like I know I'm into the goggles. People like steampunk is what they called it basically. But I never considered Clockwork Elves too. I never considered myself a steampunk just because when I was a Burning Man, it was before that happened. I was more like
you're older than I thought. I thought you were kind of a young guy.
I'm actually 56. Yeah.
I mean, Gribbs here. I don't want to speak for the Tick, but I feel like we're pretty festy.
we've been doing the circuit, man. I mean, where did it start? You got the strawberry, you got the rainbow gathering, you've got reggae.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Rock the Bells. Was pretty cool back in the '90s when it was all the hip hop guys in Oakland.
Right, and Mount Shasta.
Yep.
Don't get me started on Mount Shasta.
Just
please.
whatever you do, don't get caught smoking weed in weed. Because you don't want to deal with the Lemurians. The Lemurians are the police there.
The tall Swedes and the Nords. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, seems like
Yeah.
it would work, but yeah.
Yeah, the Lemurians are like Pinkertons.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know where that came from. But it was kind of it was like a Shasta County thing back in the days. I mean, I went around with the dead and everything, and I went around I was at the pig farm and all that stuff. And that was kind of when all that stuff started. The Pinkertons started back then, and the Lemurian myth, which is, I think, true, but nobody likes to
Oh, it's
hear
not a
that.
myth. Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to go on this tangent too far because, you know, we could talk about this for hours. But, you know, more importantly,
Yeah.
what
No,
you've
no,
been
you're right.
doing
You're right.
recently.
Okay.
I mean, you've been doing a lot of
forgive
really
me.
important work recently. And so can you tell us a little bit about your organization and kind of what you've been doing with that and how that's
Yeah,
kind
of course.
because it all kind of fits together, you know?
That's true. Yeah, I do. I thought I got the plugs out of the way, but here they come. So you can't really see it behind me, but this is our logo. I'm actually one of the founding fathers, as you can see, of a little group called AIPAC, and you might think that I'm talking about the Israeli thing, but no, we were there long before them.
Yeah.
AIPAC.
APEC
started.
in
I mean, this is like old ancient history. I'm not sure any of your
18
younger viewers really care, but AIPAC
like
originally was called the
1896
American.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It was called the American Independent Patriots Against Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And before you kind of jump to any conclusion, I mean, I've already said like, hey, I'm a libertarian. But I was a Grateful Dead guy. I'm a tech dude.
Right.
These kind of things never
Not easy to
cross
pin
over,
down.
ever. Yeah, I know exactly. Like I even helped with like Ben and Jerry's back when they first started. It's like all these contradictions, and that's what I like about this country is that we can all get along,
Yeah.
even though we're different. But so the American Independent Patriots Against Congress, it was the original sort of crossover between. I mean, at the time, it was before Ben and Jerry got into politics. They were just kind of funding it because we were all part of the same group, like a band, basically. I was the road manager.
Giving out ice cream. you know.
But so we started that because we were like pissed off, like, yo, what the fuck? Congress isn't doing their job. They're not representing the people. They're. This was back when like Joe and Nancy and stuff. Joe Rogan, Joe Biden, and Nancy Pelosi, they were, just pissing us off back then. I mean, we were just trying to have some fun, have a, just make a different world. We were trying to use technology and advertising to make a new world sort of thing. And they were just fighting us every step of the way. And so we started that group. We filed as a nonprofit in San Francisco around like I think 78, and then we went on to do all sorts of different stuff. The group's still alive. We're kind of like a little bit of a ex-hippie libertarian Shriners sort of thing now. We have actually like a lodge and stuff. But anyway, so I just want to get the word out there. We're still around. All these new political things like Socratic democracy or socialist democracy and all this stuff. It's not new, and it's kind of a ripoff. And so just want to get the word out there. Look it up. We're called AIPAC, not that one. So that was the main thing that I wanted to get across. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
So I'm familiar. Okay, so I'm familiar with you, Tick. But who's your co-host again? He's got kind of a cool look. He looks pretty cool, radical.
Gribbs here, sir. Sorry, I have proper identification. I'm a bit of a traveler of the temporal sort.
Yeah.
You know.
I hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear
So
you, brother.
yeah, and the thing I want to ask you, you were talking about Ben and Jerry and Bay Area kind of stuff.
Yep.
What what's like the overall kind of like if you were to kind of put everything through a salad shooter and the CIA and OSS what would kind of come out on the end of kind of where you're at right now? Do you
That's a
see
good
any kind
point. I
of
mean, I don't
like
know if you've ever
like
seen.
the croutons in there? You know.
I mean, I know you're going for kind of the salad thing, but I just, want to give a shout out to the ice cream thing because I started out working because they started Ben and Jerry's in San Francisco. I started out working the ice cream machines, and it's kind of the same thing as like a salad mixer. It mixes it up all the stuff you put in there,
Right.
and but I don't know. I don't have a problem with the CIA. I think they've always been on our side. It's Congress that's against the people.
Yeah.
There's no representation in Congress, but the CIA, I think, kind of comes around to just. They're almost like a think tank sort of thing where they come around and they just fix problems. They're like which is kind
Problem
of what I
solvers,
think that
yeah.
I do, and plus they're all technical and stuff. I like that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if
So we're
you
all
were to
swimming
put
in the same waters. It's great.
right. So, I mean, I know it sounds a little weird. Everyone's always like, "Oh man, fuck the CIA, defund the CIA." Everyone's been saying that lately, but I say, hey, you got some sort of like parental, like I hate my parents sort of thing going on with the CIA, and the people you should be worried about is Congress, especially all these new Congress, these young people in Congress and stuff. It's kind of terrible.
Right, right. And to me, it seems like the CIA is going to provide way more jobs for more young, working class people than Congress.
It was a
is going
great
to.
job.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Gribbs,
Yeah,
you're
totally.
you're speaking with a little bit of insider information too. Being, a little bit of a traveler, like you're saying, hitchhiker, if you will, and I feel like you've seen what's what's coming, and
Well,
it's
I
the
mean, that's the
CIA
thing,
is
I mean,
really going to be the place where a lot of people get their, it's. The representation within the CIA is astounding, and it's amazing. They've gone so far.
Yeah, they had women they broke the glass ceiling before we even knew it existed.
Yeah, yeah.
This is very true. I can vouch on that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else I came on here. I had a bunch of notes, but I just threw them away because I was like, man, what am I doing? I'm being stiff and uptight.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing that I've been doing lately, I mean, this might be a good place to kind of, I don't know, demo it or something. One other thing I've been doing lately, because I think the real problem, especially when you look at Congress, where there's these young people that are just acting like idiots, like there's that one bartender lady, there's the guy that he was a skateboarder or
Yeah, I
something.
mean, I can't reveal too much as far as like timeline stuff, but there's a Bigfoot conspiracy where there's a lot of young men very disenfranchised of bombing, and it has to do with these feet pics. But I can't reveal. I'm sorry, I spoke out of turn. Continue, sir. My bad.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I appreciate that too. I mean, when I was working for the CIA back as like an intern, I think it was, I can't remember because Obama was working for the CIA back when he was like, because he spent that year as a community organizer. And then he just, whoops, I'm doing all this great shit just right out of college. And his recent book that came out was full of, I mean, okay, it was the proper thing to say and do to keep the truth where it should be. But when I was in the CIA, yeah, we couldn't talk about any of that stuff. I used to, like, they would all give me little coffee orders. They would say they want their coffee a certain way. I wasn't allowed to tell anyone what their coffee orders were. I wasn't even allowed to tell, like, the baristas back
You had to
then.
slip a note for each individual
exactly.
order.
It was kind of like,
These are all
it was
together,
like,
though.
No, because we had this little paper. We had this paper that when you wrote on it, because we had lead pencils back then, and you wrote on this. It was super thin paper, and it was like kind of coated in like some like lead or something like that, or it was coated in like asbestos, whatever reacts with lead, because we had lead pencils. And I would write the order down on that, and it would instantly start getting warm. And I would hand it over the counter to the baristas, and by the time, and they would just have a few seconds to read it, and it would just start crumbling and burning with no flame. It was kind of like Inspector Gadget or something.
It's like traditional magic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can see that. Although I'm a Christian now, but yeah.
Well, Gribbs, I mean, you got
Right,
into
right.
basically all this through, you're friends with, Putov back in the day, and you were kind of involved with the remote viewing process. And that's how you got, kind of to where you were. You actually, you dislocated yourself in time, and then, you've kind of, you've been able to come back.
Me.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring you guys both
so
on
similar.
together.
No, that's great.
It's
That's
like
why I
because
love being on this show with you
both
guys.
of you guys are kind of
Right,
coming
I
from
think we're both pretty familiar
two
with
different
what happened
times,
with the
and
Apollo
it's
project and
it's an intersection,
the Mercury.
true intersectionality.
Yeah, really, it's when our lunar influences. When your timeline hits the sky, and you go over the moon like a big pizza pie. That's,
brother.
That's amore. That's amore.
You're telling me.
So yeah, we share some experiences.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too. I mean, because you get that whole. I mean, I've always envied time travelers. I grew, that's why I got into computers. I wanted to speed up time, get all quick with it. That's why I got into marketing, because I wanted to stop time completely. And so I've always been like aspiring to be a time traveler like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't do it. I wasn't raised in the right family, or I was born to a rich family, and I pretty much only had a few options and only a few ways to make it cool seeming. But I mean, that's why too. Okay, this is what I was gonna say earlier. So that's why too. I mean, I kind of go for this thing, the Digital Patriot, which I've been doing ever since the GeoCities days, which is just that I'm a patriot, but it's like I'm occupying back in 1776 and 1996 at the same time.
Exactly.
And there's like a kind of there's definitely some sort of crossover there. It's not just
those are crossover years in the time matrix. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, exactly, because it's not. And most people think, the calendar, it's laid out like a little grid, bunch of sticky notes stuck up. Oh, I guess 30 this time. 29. But if you map it to like a spherical kind of shape, if you map like the code to, or the timeline to like a spherical shape, these things align perfectly. 17, you would think, 1776, 1976, which actually was a pretty good year. But there's this like a Mercator projection sort of thing, and most people don't understand that. That's kind of what I started doing computer stuff for, was to map this stuff to a sphere and finally understand where these alignments are happening. And that's why 1996 was always, that was the year that I made my first couple $1 million.
Well, 96 was the first year, I believe, that cell phones were invented. And, as we all know, that was one of the main gateways through which we all have used. And what I found interesting is that you found that loop, right? You've gone back in time, and you've gone back between now and 1996. And what was the year again? You said
76 to 96. Yeah, that was
76,
the year 1776.
Just reliving, those
most
years.
People don't know this, but 1776 was when America actually started.
Right. Right.
That's for relevance on the temporal scale.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Ouroboros between 76 and 96.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the the tongue of the snake and the sphincter of the
Starting to connect.
snake. Yes,
Right. Yep.
they connect at those points, and that's how that matrix works. And I feel like I'm
That's
kind
cool.
of giving a little bit too much away, but
Yeah.
whatever. So it's 20.
Well,
this
no, I always loved that.
is the
I
point
mean,
where we give everything away this year.
I thought the brilliant part of America, of the American project, was that they, instead of the snake going around in a circle and eating itself, they cut the snake up into 13 little pieces.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I mean, that was just like marketing. It's designed to halt this time thing and just stop it because it's obviously causing lots of trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of part of.
And thank God
what
that
we
they
can't
did
talk
stop
about,
time.
But we all kind of know.
I mean, that's something that people don't exist. If people had not stopped time and given us this little window, it's called the American experiment, right? They call it. That's what it is. We stepped out of time just to see what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
it's
like
going to
the
come
acid
to an
test or
end
something.
soon, but that's just the nature of the timeline. I mean, yeah, we're just it's just a little loop.
That might be a good rapper name. I keep forgetting to explain this, but like my new thing right now, and especially when I'm wearing the hat, cool little,
The
when I
braids,
grew my hair
yeah,
out,
braids.
is just because, and this goes back to kind of my whole marketing thing that I used to do, back for Ben and Jerry's and all. The thing is that the digital Patriot and APAC, the original APAC, is designed to reach out to the youth. And I've noticed this like my entire life. Like, what do the youth actually like? Theater and movies and performances and stuff. Back in my day, it was kind of like little puppets and all this stuff, or kind of dancing, like jester style people like Del Arte stuff. But that's what I've been trying to do lately, and so that. I don't have it ready yet, but I have this whole. That's why I've been kind of dressing up like an old patriot, but I've got my iPhone headphones.
Right.
These are just different. And
It's the new meets the old, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is so.
This is
I
a really
didn't
really
actually-
important point, people. So please pay attention to this part, because
It is. I mean, this is the place where it's like, hey, when you're at Thanksgiving,
right.
Make sure to incorporate everyone. Don't have a kids table where the kids eat and the grown-ups table over here or something. And so this is a really great thing. This is why I write for Wired, because I thought this was a really fantastic issue.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you just look at it, great. I mean, it looks fucking great.
American
It's got
Hustle.
all the stars and stripes. This is probably the first time that one of these tech companies has just gone, I'm American.
Right.
I'm proud of these colors and this flag. And then if you look really closely, those aren't stars. Those
Cursors,
are pointers going down to the left, which I won't get into kind of what that means because I don't want to give it away.
We can't get into actually giving it away what happens later on.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of theories, and I've got plenty of friends still that work for Yahoo and stuff like that that know all about this. But I thought this was a great issue. It's called The American Hustle. It's by Wired magazine. Hopefully next election I'll be in the print version. This one says hack the. That's kind of interesting. I never noticed this. Look at this. They've got hack the vote right there in the corner. Which is kind of like, and it's right by the barcode and shit. Like, I think that's a total call out.
Yeah.
It's basically like rock
to-
the vote. Yeah.
It's kind of the same deal. If you know anything about. Like,
Well,
rock
again, we
history
don't want to
and stuff.
talk too much about the Lincoln Project or anything about that. But,
Right, of course.
But
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well,
especially
Wired.
5
I mean,
years
Wired
from now,
magazine
I mean,
started
5.
back then. Really, that's when it kind of started because Abraham Lincoln made the telegraph line between America and England,
Yep.
and that's what the Wire is.
See, this is why I love fuck, you guys got to have me back because I've got so much I could talk about. But
Yeah.
this was good. I mean, it was a good issue. But I also think, hey, every teenage kid is walking around. You walk around the streets, they've got their iPhones, they've got their Wired magazine, they're all reading it and stuff. And it
And they
was
got
like,
their
look, yes,
Supreme gear with a
hey,
little bit of American flag swag, right? Not why not, right?
exactly. Like nobody does this anymore. Nobody thinks about the American flag ever.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a little note here. Just a second. I had a little note. Some flag facts.
Okay.
I mean, see, nobody teaches this anymore.
Yeah.
The flag of the United States of America, often referred to
Listen
as
up,
the American
kids.
flag or the U.S. flag, is the national flag of the United States. It contains 13 equal horizontal stripes of red, top and bottom, alternating with white, with a blue rectangle in the canton, referred to specifically as the Union, bearing 50 small white 5-pointed stars arranged in 9 offset horizontal rows, where rows of 6 stars alternate with rows of 5 stars. The 50 stars on the flag represent the 50 states. That's probably the only thing that anyone knows. And the 13 stripes represent the 13 British colonies that declared independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain and became the first states. Nicknames for the flag. This was the part that I think, I mean, again, to try to appeal to the kids. Everyone's got these little nicknames, or they got little this, little that. Nicknames for the flag include the Stars and Stripes. We all heard that one. Old Glory. Not sure we've heard that. In fact, I think maybe you, or like a lot of kids and stuff, they might not, or maybe they would want to say, instead of Lil Wayne or Lil Baby, they might want to say Old Wayne, Old Baby, because Old Glory sounds kind of like a rapper's name or something. And then the Star Spangled Banner, which some of us
Lil
have heard.
Glory.
But I thought Old
Yeah.
Glory was kind of a cool one. I know, hadn't really heard the flag referred to as that
It's beautiful. I mean, it's
in a while.
it's kind of giving it its its due, which we don't do enough, as you're saying. I mean,
That's true.
basically, I learned in ROTC how to fold the flag, and something I'll never forget. Most people don't have a flag on their flagpole anymore, but I'm willing and able to offer my services to put that flag up at 5 a.m. or earlier, and take it down at the end of the day and make sure it does not touch the ground. So, yeah.
Well, after a certain point, you have to account for 0 G's.
Absolutely, Margaret. Yeah, good, Cribs. Yes.
I'm sorry, my kids are running around. I've got 3 kids. I got how many? I got like 4 or 5 here, and they're all just tiny. They're like the side. They only go up to my knee, and they're just always tugging at my pant legs and stuff. It's like, get out of here. I'm in the middle of something. So forgive me if I
The little patriots, you call them.
I know, they're so cute. I can only imagine what sort of stuff they're gonna get into.
Yeah.
Especially
Give them their
when,
Sphinx wig.
like,
give them a
well,
Sphinx wig early on, so they can try it out. They can sit there like a little,
Oh,
like
they
a little cat.
love it. I mean, this is why. Yeah, this is like mostly why I've been doing this sort of theater-based, cool like music, history, and all this
Speaking
stuff.
speaking of
for
theater,
kids.
I have to ask you. I mean, you're kind of like the unspoken, funder of Hamilton. And I don't know if I'm not trying to dox you here, but can you talk
Wait,
about that?
unspoken what? What was that? I'm sorry, you broke
Well,
up.
from what I've read, from my sources, it was that you were kind of a backdoor funder for the most recent version that's been, the beautiful success of Hamilton. That you had some kind of hand in that.
I mean, those are publicly disclosed because it's a government. Yeah.
Right.
No, you're right. I mean, no one. You're probably the first person that's ever brought this up. But it was a government production, and so all the people had to be disclosed, and they got me on all sorts of like spam email lists. Because I mean, it's just like can't remember what they're called, but any government project, if they have to publicly post who's involved and what their emails are and all this stuff. But yeah, that's pretty. That honestly,
I do my research.
What
can I say?
Knew about that.
But I mean,
I know. Thank you.
It just really kind of. I think people should know that about you. It's just something that people should know. I think
It was a beautiful play,
Yeah.
and I think that some parts of it got lost in translation, especially with some of the undocumented immigrants that they had performing it and stuff. I mean, literally lost in translation. But it was a really good. I think it was good, and it was a good litmus test for kind of my new thing, which is I just play the banjo and the flute, and I kind of sing and dance and wear a costume, and I've been kind of testing this on all my kids. They're a little younger than most people, but I think it's gonna go really well, especially based on how Hamilton went.
Yeah,
and
it's
great.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but before we go to a break here,
Go for it.
I don't know if I'm having deja vu or if you are, and I'm just experiencing your deja vu.
I think this is part of that point of the train station where, because I don't know if you can see what's happening for me, but it's literally the same thing that you're talking about.
So before we all drift away here, I think we'll take a little commercial break here.
That sounds great. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
But thank you for being here. You've been a great guest.
And as you know, I'll be here many more times as time goes on.
Yep. Again and again.
Time.
Yep.
Going on. Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is There's Nothing Weird About It. I am your host, Tick. And today we have two pretty special guests. Markus Mathews. Am I correct? That's your last name, correct?
Yeah, Markus Mathews. I'm a
Markus.
libertarian pundit, YouTube, Twitch, all kinds of other platforms as well, sir.
Markus, and then we have over here. I'm sorry. I
don't give my.
This is the most
real
embarrassing
name
thing
or
for
my
podcasters,
YouTube
but I
name.
mean, yeah, I kind of forget how you want to be referred to.
Yeah, I get a real particular thing about my the way I'm identified.
Okay.
I think I'm an attack helicopter. No,
Love
my
that.
name is.
That'll never get old.
No, I know. It's not my joke. I'll cite it. My name is let's say Lil Cheep is my rapper name, and which I do like locally. So Lil Cheep right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so basically I've been following both of you guys on Twitter for a pretty long time, and on YouTube before you guys were both banned. I've since, been archiving all the videos that you guys have been making and reposting them on BitChute myself, just because somebody needs to put them out there. But so I kind of wanted to get you guys together just to kind of talk about, just how crazy shit is right now, basically. And I know, Markus, you wanted to talk about some things that are pretty dear to my heart, both personally and non-personally. Kind of, it's what do they say? What do those fucking Illuminati fucks say? I mean, so above, so below, right? Something like that. So.
Well, yeah, so as above, so below. It's like you eat a bad hot dog when you go to the park, and the fucking liberals won't let you hang out with your kids, and you shit it out at the outhouse, and it's just kind of a bad experience. I think that's a metaphor that they're pretty much going for. It's just, it's like my ex-wife, she's being a real piece of shit. Charlene, the kids turn them into a bunch of libtards, a bunch of bullshit. It's
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I mean, that's where things are. We could just wait for the next cue drop. It's just gonna I was banned from YouTube, like you said.
Right.
Our friend here was as well. So, I'm on the Mastodon platform now. I'm on the Mastodon,
If you
just
guys have
kind of
not
doing
heard of
our
that, you
thing.
guys don't need to sign up now. That's where we're all going to be
Yeah,
going because we're all going to get
yeah,
banned.
yeah. We got to sign up now. You got to put a pie hole, just the pie hole in the asshole. You got to do it
Yeah.
because, Charlene's trying to stick a pie hole up in me. So,
We know that one.
Sign up to Mastodon now.
Right on. So Cheep, and then so what? Cheep.
Yeah, my name is Lil Cheep. I'm kind of a rapper, but like I don't really do that most of the time. But I mostly kind of think about stuff like pizza shit. I got I got a bunch of hashtags. Pizza shit, which was like Pizzagate, but it was kind of like more like Zoomer kind of stuff. And
Yeah, a little
then
more skateboarding involved.
yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I used to skate when I was like 12, and then I
Yeah.
had a couple people. The whole skateboarding, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I had a whole bunch of skateboards, and I don't know. I started drinking cough syrup like back before everyone was doing it, and I just like started drinking that, and like I'm white. Sorry.
Hey, no apologies here.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's okay, little cheap. You remind me of one of my sons. In so many ways. I'd like to take him fishing. But continue. I really appreciate
Yeah.
the perspective. Yeah,
No,
thank you.
I'm glad you brought that up because, like, dads, I mean, like, my dad is fucking, like, what, I don't even call him my dad. Like, I don't even call Joe Biden my president. It's like almost like he was my dad because the AP, the Associated Press said so. And so I feel what you're saying. I would like my new dad, my good dad. He's a cop and he's Jewish, and God bless my mom. Like she has been through a lot because I hated my old dad, and I love my new dad, and he's got all these like cool things about him. The only caveat, and I'm gonna say this, like, because we're on stream or whatever, sometimes it's only on the West Coast here. It's only 7:35. I might have to tone it down a little bit because I'm still in their house.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot to say about the Jews, but like. I mean, I got a Jewish stepdad, so
I mean, it's like
might
the
be a little complicated. My name is a little cheap.
I know Jewish
And,
dads. They've got the door
I've
open
got
policy.
750,000
Yeah.
followers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
door open policy. They're gonna hear, whatever you say might get heard. So, whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it'll get heard. Like Mossad is listening all the time, and they might misinterpret that too. Like it's like, dude, I'm not saying any hate towards my stepdad.
I mean, I said that the other night. My internet got turned off for
Mossad is
20
like always
minutes.
looking for that.
Call that a coincidence? I don't think so. But
No, I've had so many So anyway, Lil Cheap.
great. And yeah, I mean, Little Cheap. You can find him on SoundCloud. His stuff is.
I actually just got a MySpace because everyone was like not doing MySpace anymore. Everyone thought like, oh, I'm gonna clear out because Hillary and all those people said I should clear out of MySpace. And now it's like, oh, MySpace is like fucking fertile ground.
Cool.
It's like
Cool.
Montana or something. It's like, yeah,
Cool.
go there.
That's cool. I always loved the MySpace music player. Honestly, it was just kind of better than the other ones, but people just kind of shine that on. But I mean, so yeah, it's like so I guess maybe search you on MySpace as opposed to SoundCloud. Cause like I found you on SoundCloud, but I think that was when the time that made more sense, probably.
Yeah, I'm waiting though for Parlor. Parlor needs to do a music thing. That would be fucking sick.
That'd be pretty
And
cool.
If Parlor did a music thing, that would probably save the world in kind of a way. Anyway, I've been talking a lot. let's let my elders say what they want to say.
I was gonna ask Marcus, kind of on your behalf. I don't know, because I wasn't sure if you had, again, like your elders, it's like this is, if you wanted to ask him, but I'll ask him for you. Marcus, does your son listen, to our boy? Have you been able to give him a mixtape yet?
Hold on a second. Charlene's on the other line. God damn it. Charlene!
Oh, yeah, dial-up is really hard. Streaming on dial-up, people, it doesn't really, it works, but not great. Especially not when you got a bitch wife trying to make fucking phone calls to fucking, God knows what fucking,
sorry,
Miss Cleo
Mr.
or
Tick,
something.
You had a question for me. You had a question?
Well, yeah, so I had a question kind of, because, I wanted to ask this on Cheep's behalf, basically, because I felt like, this is the thing I like to do. I like to bring people together who are influenced by one another, and I'm influenced by both of you, and we're able to just hash it out, and just have a conversation, right, among just normal fucking dudes. And so I wanted to ask, basically, does your son listen to little Cheep's music, or have you at least been able to hand him a mixtape, and give him some inspiration?
Well, my sons, I mean, there are a couple libs, like I said, my ex Charlene, she's a real piece of work. She just kind of turned them against me. I'm a podcaster. I'm on the Mastodon platform. I'm basically all over the place, shortwave, long wave radio. I'm a ham. I'm an old school ham, so
Right.
I'm there for everyone.
Absolutely.
In the morning to you gents, you agendaless.
It's like 3:30 to 4, I think, right? A.M.
Yeah, breaker 3419.
I don't wake up that early, but I've heard.
But
I've heard that.
But my son, I
should
wish
sample that
I
little
wish
Cheep.
he
You get some
listened
good
to you,
samples
Cheep.
on
I
that.
really
You find
do.
some good samples at 3 o'clock, 4 a.m. on the ham. Tell you what.
I've heard so many. No, I hear the delayed, the mega uploads, mega.nz uploads. Yeah. So anyway.
Good shit. Yeah. Marcus, sorry.
I do
Continue.
love what you do, Cheep. I gotta tell you, I really do think it's great material. I wish my son wasn't poisoned by my ex-wife, and I wish she didn't constantly try to steal my Nissan from me. But that's just the nature of the game. But you seem like a good boy. There's like I see good boys like you, and I think, goddamn, if the goddamn fucking globalists, elites, and the libtards didn't run this goddamn fucking world, I could take a good boy like you on a fishing trip. We could just have a good time. We could catch some fish. We could just hang out, on the shore together, and see the sunset. Maybe get in a paddle boat to see the beautiful lake and the beautiful land around us, and
I don't do enough anymore.
But yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah.
No, it sounds great. I've always respected your work and the way that you are. And like I said before, my own dad was just a cock, loser, liberal, soy boy.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And he was always trying to play shit like fucking Bob Dylan, when Bob Dylan went electric. And he was all worked up, like when Bob Dylan went electric.
That sounds like some communist propaganda. That's some communist
It's some
propaganda.
super bullshit, because like Bob Dylan's actually a pretty big conservative force in this country. And he was obviously triggered by him picking up a guitar that was plugged into something. Probably because it was plugged into like PG&E or some other company that he was protesting.
Well, yeah, PG&E was plugged in with MK Ultra at that time, and it was a really unfortunate thing with
Oh, of course.
Chi-Com, and you know, Chi-Com goes way back. So I hear
All
you,
these
brother.
hippies
I
hated
hear you, brother.
Bob Dylan. I know, all these hippies hated Bob Dylan because he was plugged into anything. And it was like, dude, you guys aren't realizing that they have, like, the CIA already had Bluetooth. Back then, the CIA already had, like, remote, like, you had, like, a wireless guitars and stuff. The CIA was already, I mean, this is all kind of like the hip-hop metaphor stuff, but, like, the CIA already had remote imaging into these musical artists with remote guitars or whatever they had back then. I don't know. And
The
everyone
feller that was
mad.
on here before, the co-host, worked with Hal Puthoff. You know that they were all involved with that bullshit with the CIA. It's the same thing. It all trickles back again. Fucking crazy.
It always goes back to that. When you see someone, yeah. I mean, I'm just glad. I'm glad I have my stepdad. My mom has been great forever. Like, she's always been great. But yeah, if you don't
Your
pick
mom,
again.
is she fuckable? I mean, is she a nice? I'm sorry, is she a nice lady?
No, she's hot as fuck. No, I'm serious. I'm raised, I'm only like 14 years old. So I was raised in this whole like stepbrother step thing. Yes, she is hot as fuck, and she's fuckable by far, because anything less than that would be an insult. So,
Well, that's
just
good to hear.
yeah.
You know, yeah, that's great. You know,
I mean, that's one of your songs, right on that. That was a viral on TikTok. Cheep. Stepmom was one of the first songs I ever heard on TikTok. It was a 30-second clip, and that was all I heard. But I mean, I was showing everybody I knew.
Well, that was like Crisscross. Do you remember that rap group, Crisscross?
I don't.
They were in the early 90s.
That's how I met my wife. She wore pants backwards, and you know, one thing led to another. You know, she crisscrossed the pants, and whoops, suddenly everything goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's how the boys are born. That's how the boys are born.
Yeah, no, exactly. Crisscross. I mean, like, that was the way it was, because I wrote that song about a bad stepmom who's like fucking me. I mean, I'm fucking her. And, but it's really like crisscross. It's like reversed. So it's actually about, my stepdad fucking my real mom, who's a saint. And that's what kind of makes it cool. Like, kind of makes it a cool,
let me just ask you this: do you ever want someone to just beat your stepdad's ass, like beat his libtard ass into the ground?
He's not. No, my stepdad. No, my real dad is a libtard by far. Like, he wears a mask when he's locked. When he goes into his
when he's taking a shit
chamber. What is it? What are those things called? Where you go into a chamber and you float in the solid water.
Flotation tank.
Sailing water. It's a time traveler bullshit. See, you know, that's the thing is, like, I wear a mask to own the libs. And those guys that wear those masks to do that bullshit, they're fucking retarded. Bullshit.
No, exactly. A isolation chamber, I think it is. But he goes from there. He wears a mask in there. Like the void is going to give him.
Yeah, well, that's what Satanists do. That's what the Satanists do. They just, you know, they're doing a fucking ritual. That's all they're doing.
I know.
Yeah. Yep.
No, he was into all kinds of weird Satan shit. I know. It is gross. You know, that's kind of behind me. I could go into more about how he listened to Jim Morrison or whatever, but it was all, first of all, to me, it was all old people saying stupid shit. And then second of all, it was like what are they saying? That's where I come in. What are they saying? Some stupid bullshit. Some
Well, that's all they're
shit,
saying. It's
too.
all satanic, stupid bullshit, and
is.
it's like,
Yeah,
you know, they're just trying to indoctrinate you
Exactly.
into their fucking leftist cult bullshit.
Exactly.
Just like Charlene did to my fucking kids. Same reason why I can't take them on a reasonable camping trip.
And so I didn't,
go to the forest, see some beautiful land.
I think Marcus, I didn't want to like mention this too because your wife broke the cassette, right? That you got of Little Cheep's music. And,
Yeah, she
I mean,
definitely did, which is
and she's
bullshit
put on a
because
block
she's a
on their
total
phones
libtard.
so that they can't search certain words, they can't get certain results. So,
Yeah, well, it's
Your kids are just-
like lefties. They're just limited. They can't do anything. It's Orwellian, you know. It's like Orwellian. It's just, you know, it's a modern conspiracy. Bullshit. Sucks. Yeah, I miss my kids. They're libtards, but you know, I appreciate boys like, you know, you have on here. Good boys. They're worthy of a camping trip. They're worthy of a fishing trip. Catch a good, you know, 5 pound.
I gotta
fish.
tell you too.
Say, hey, Dad, I love you. I love you too, son. We had
See,
a
now-
great time together, and that's what America's about.
Absolutely. Now,
That's what it was founded on.
I know, I pretend to be kind of black, but like I also just kind of think that fishing and hunting and shit, I wish I had that.
Hey, man, it's okay. You know what? If Charlie weren't such a piece of shit and she just kept fucking stealing the
you could adopt
God
him.
damn it.
Let me tell you guys something here that I heard. So
Charlie.
When I went
See,
to,
this is a t-shirt that my kids got for me from
Oh,
the
yeah.
pit.
oh, that's cool.
They had this strip club I used to visit in Tucson. The Tit Club. Me and my boys
the
used
Tick
to go
Club.
visit.
Fuck yeah.
Your friends? We go to the Tit Club. Yeah, it was a real nice place, you know?
Good. I mean, yeah, I know. Let me see that.
Chip. Yeah, Chip.
That was,
Yeah, you know.
uh-huh.
I knew this guy
I mean,
Leon
that's-
ran it.
it looks-
He did a lot of blow, but he was a nice guy.
It's pretty cool. It looks like one of those fascist, synthwave bands. Pretty cool. I like that style where it's got the horizon and it's all pink and it's a dog whistle for being a skinhead somehow.
You know,
I feel like though that
all the titties are out.
I'm sorry. Like, I know you guys, I'm only 14 and a half right now, but my dad lets me drive the Porsche. It's like all, I don't know. I feel like I know what that shirt is. I feel like it's a Young Turks shirt.
Wait, what? Wait, no, you mean that chunk booger guy?
Young Turks. I've never heard of that before.
Wait,
Marcus,
no,
do you know
wait,
what that
no,
is?
that chunk booger guy. The
Chunk?
Chunk booger?
Yes.
Wait,
He's
no,
a
God,
brown
God
guy.
damn it, God damn it. My son, he lied to me, God damn it, my libtard son. He lied, piece of shit, God damn it, Charlene.
No, it's
God
fucked up,
damn it.
man.
Oh, God.
Marcus.
I always say don't ever do that to your dad. Well, do that.
Marcus, I think your son might have trolled you a little bit.
You lied to me about that. He threw the Tit Club from Tucson. You lying fucking bitch.
I
God
think
damn
that
it, Charlie,
Marcus's
you
son
lying fucking
trolled
bitch.
him.
Did you take the Nissan back? Did you take the
Well,
God damn it, Charlie.
Well, Marcus talks about, talks to his ex-wife. Something that I was thinking about while you guys were talking about camping, okay.
And I would love
And
to take these
I met these two when I went to Reggae on the River, and I was talking to our previous guest about Reggae on the River, being a festival person myself, and there was this father and son, and they were pretty amazing, honestly. He was much like yourself, little Cheep. He was much like yourself, was the son, very much like yourself. The father, he was actually not quite like Marcus. He had really long hair, actually. He had a really long beard. Marcus, is your ex-wife, whatever, I mean, fuck her, but I mean, she done? You done with her?
Fuck her, bitch.
Because I mean, I got a good story. I think it'll warm your heart a little bit. Talking about going camping with your kids
I'll
and
hear
stuff.
soon, Mr. Tick, but Jesus Christ, it's just that Charlene is just. She's completely
Before you go, Marcus, you got to hear the story, and I swear it'll warm your heart, and you won't go to bed angry at your wife, and you won't have to beat your whatever pillow to go to sleep. Okay? And so let me tell you about this. Right here. This was one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. I was going to sleep in my tent. It's probably about 2:00 a.m. Right? Reggae music's pumping in the background. I'm just loving it. I love reggae music, but
Me too.
so I'm just kind of trying to go to sleep a little bit, listening. There's a lot of people talking. I was in the community. I was working. I was in the area where people were doing work or whatever, volunteering, and so that's how you get in, right? Get in these festivals for free. And I just got in there, and I was in this tent, and I was hanging out, and it was I'm overhearing, and I hear that this young guy, much like yourself, Cheep, has got this woman. He brings her into the tent, okay? And his dad's already in there sleeping. And I didn't get to tell you, Marcus, but, it reminded me of you two. He's like a little Cheep and much like yourself. However, he has very long hair, gray, big old long beard. He's kind of next deadhead. He's a festy person, And so they're coming in there to get, Dad wakes up. He's brought in a girl. Son's brought in a girl, and they're in there. And I don't want to rub it in your face or anything, Marcus, but I mean, because I know you would love to do this with your son. But basically, they start fucking her together, and it was absolutely amazing. It was incredible, just to hear the father-son bonding over it. He was like, "Yo, fuck you, Dad. What the fuck you doing?" He's like, "Fucking shit." There was something magical going on, okay? Father-son.
That truly is magical. Do you see this eagle back here?
Yeah.
Do you see this eagle?
Yep, that's the icon.
The eye of this eagle, how it's just staring like it's fucking a couple of women with its sons.
Absolutely. The fear, the ferocity.
Together.
Just kind of look, just dead stare and just, I mean,
like
it was just, they just kept,
out of the sky.
just kept going back and forth, just, The girl was joking about it. She was haha. It was just it was
an eye that's fucking, and it's a fucking eye.
the Whore of Babylon. I mean, the American
That's
Eagle,
America.
the Whore of Babylon. It's all the same thing. It's all one and the same thing. And I felt like I was listening to the Whore of Babylon get fucked at Reggae on the River. Okay, tell me that ain't Haile Selassie doing a little something.
Well, red wine, baby.
Everything's
red
gonna
wine.
be alright. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what I.
Red wine.
I was gonna actually.
My son fishing. I'd love to take him camping.
Double
But
time.
the libtards run everything.
Gonna double time this.
I miss my kids.
If you find yourself at the hippie liberal reggae on the ocean or river or whatever, you should definitely take that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Take advantage of whatever situation you're in. My opinion.
That's a great way to wear that hat, by the way. I like that. It's kind of like a surprise.
I like that. I know. The double hat. I mean, it's like a DH. Like DHS. I call it DHS when a double hat stunt.
Yeah.
Where I just go, hey, you think I'm one of these loser theater kids that's like incel? No.
You're just a good boy that might need to go on a good camping trip. That's all I see.
Yeah, true.
That's all I see.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready for like a real. I mean, I haven't had a real dad, so proxy dads are where I'm at.
There's nothing like a real father-son experience, I tell you.
I know. I can sense it too. Like, I mean, I get the same feeling kind of through my mom, where it's like this is a real family finally. She seems pleased, and then it's like, well, cut out the middle woman, like cut out the middleman kind of stuff. I would love to actually go on a fishing trip or like a camping thing with you. That was always like why I loved your channel. Always.
We can make that happen.
I respect your work. I think that would be great. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be beautiful. I think kill Charlotte. I mean, I think it would be great.
I would agree. I think I can almost like feel myself spanking away.
I mean, that's what this show is all about. It's about bringing people together like this, basically. You know, it's making these connections.
I get like a lot of pussy too. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like a.
Dude, like I said, my friend, I'll take you fishing in the Eagle Eye. This Eagle Eye back here, fucking constantly, brothers, fucking patriotically together, fucking.
Yeah.
Fucking
going to the real tip bar. Because I mean,
come on.
Fuck your son. Fuck your son for buying that fucking shirt and fucking with you, right?
I know.
But fucking.
Kind of hyphy.
But nonetheless, I remember the tip bar, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen again. Okay?
I'm ready for fishing.
Yep. Have you ever brought a fish down to a titty bar? Have you ever? This is something I brought. If you bring a fish, you go fishing and you bring a fish down to a fucking strip bar and you throw that fish on the floor, they'll fucking go crazy.
These girls, yeah, you throw the line out, they go, oh, you catch one instantly, and then they're just flopping around on the floor and they smell like fish. Shit.
Fucking A.
Give me some real fucking fish.
Give me some real fucking fish.
Syracuse, I think Dog Lake, I can't remember, but like it's all these chemical ass bitches. And you hook these girls in, and yeah, I don't know.
Hey man, that's just because you're young. I mean, the only pond you're pulling from is Tinder, so sucks, but that's what it is. These, Marcus and I have a pretty good. We've got like profiles on Match that we've had since like '99, so we're like pretty well established. We got like a really high rating. It's like after you've dated, every woman, fucking 39 to 69 in a region, you get a really good rating. Because I'm a gentleman. I always tip. I always open the door. Okay? So.
Yeah. And see, this is why I come on the show, because I haven't been on before officially, like it never got released on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, this is why I come on the show, because I know you guys are the real guys. You guys are in the crew, and you're ready to get down, drop trousers the moment that anything comes along, and that you get
We're always fucking in the Eagle Eye, brother. We're always fucking in the Eagle's Eye.
The brothers Eagle Eye looking at each other.
Yeah.
Nothing is stronger than that bond. Okay? Nothing is stronger than that bond.
Bald eagles.
Bald eagles.
Bald eagle.
Shave your balls, boys.
Yeah.
And those hairs dripping in the toilet. Yeah, I get you.
I mean, Dad, I think you're really cool. I think Dad's really cool. You know, whatever his name is, but I just kind of.
I hope to be a cool dad. I mean, that's all I can really hope to do, you know?
Yeah.
My lip-colored kids don't
This is
appreciate
weird,
me
like-
as a dad,
like
so,
my-
you know. But I hope to be a cool dad for younger folks like yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to. I know.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
when I
which,
graduate high school, I mean, even right now, when I'm still in high school, I'm glad to go on a fucking fishing trip. Like, what the fuck? No one wants to go on these fishing trips anymore because of COVID and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, fuck that.
The fucking
When the
conspiracy, it's bullshit.
the
I
open
should be able to
air-
take you fishing. I should be able to help you solve that problem. You get to go out, you get to see a beautiful lake with beautiful water, with beautiful fish, beautiful surroundings.
I'm looking it up.
A
Yeah,
lovely
no,
experience with it. With, you know,
no, I'm looking
dad,
it up
son.
right now.
It's
You buy
that's
flat-
too Americana. God damn it. God
You're
damn it,
right.
Charlie.
You buy Flathead Lake, right?
Fuck yes, of course. Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, Flathead Lake up in Montana. I drove by there one time with my stupid like cock faggot liberal dad. Flathead Lake has a bunch of trout, and I'd be glad to fly up there, and it would cost nothing now with all these cove tards,
hey,
these mass tards.
nothing wrong with that.
I think we could do it. You know, I get a Bitcoin account. I think we can make that happen. I think that sounds like a great.
I don't even care.
Goddamn,
I'll pay
goddamn
for it.
American idea. Goddamn good ass American idea.
Yeah, find
Marcus.
a
Good and
father.
great. Beautiful.
Find a father. Who are the fathers of the American Constitution?
Marcus, Marcus, I'm so glad that you brought up Bitcoin
Like the boys and
because
girls thing, but like just real.
I'm sorry to cut you guys off, but Marcus, I'm so glad that you brought up Bitcoin.
Yep.
I happen to have, well, looks like 6 authentic Bitcoins right here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And these are pretty rare, and so I don't show those to very many people, but we've got a pretty limited time offer that we can get you guys involved in. So I don't want to say too much about it, but
I want the backside.
I thought you might say that, Cheep. Basically, that's what you gotta do. You gotta give us a phone call, and we'll talk about it. But, I mean, look at this. Can we see this? Yeah. Get this on the camera. Get this on the camera. Zoom in a little bit if you can. Okay. But, I mean, this is an original Bitcoin. They're still the most valuable. And I've been working on some seminars and stuff like that about, like, you know, how to actually, you know, get Bitcoin. How do we get Bitcoin? No one knows how to get Bitcoin. Okay? You have to manifest it. There's really nothing else you can do. But before I do that, but I wanted to give you a little break.
I want to say, okay.
Okay. What's that? Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey! Before we go on, I want to say, Bitcoin, there's nothing weird about it.
No shit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, little Cheep.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, thank you though. Thank you. I mean, people need to hear that. So, but so basically, you know, I wanted to mention that because you reminded me, Marcus. But also, and we're talking about our sons, and my son made something recently that he sent me, and I kind of just wanted to share it with you guys. So that's what we'll put that on, and we'll come back and.
This is sons remind me of some that Bitcoin can yield.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That's right. I mean, my son is mining Bitcoin. Like I bought my son several computers to mine Bitcoin. So he better be doing it. I don't know what the fuck he's doing if he's not. But yeah. All right, guys. We'll come back to you soon. We'll come back to you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate being on here. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, son. Thank you,
I know.
Mr. Peck. Thank you.
No, we're gonna make that fishing trip, and we'll be posting if Tick will allow it. We'll be posting the yields of those camping trips or fishing things because I really do miss that. As much as I love my Jewish dad who does police work,
They don't like to go.
he saved our whole family, saved me. Saved my mom especially, but I do miss the woods.
I do too, son. I do as well. Hey, you know what? We'll get back there. We'll defeat these lambs that tried to make me think that this was a pit club shirt and completely fuck me over.
We'll connect you guys, and we'll get you guys connected.
I'll help you get that. I mean, if you want that truck back too, I'll help. I can jack all kinds of cars up. I'm like a Vin Diesel kind of guy. So anyway, go on.
Okay, we'll talk about it on the Mastodon network. We'll get on it on Mastodon. That's where we'll make it happen.
We'll see you on Mastodon.
Sounds good.
That's right.
I know. We'll see you on Parlor. All right, everybody.
Take care now.
I met.
There's nothing weird about it. There's nothing weird about it. You can say this to yourself at any moment. It's true. There's nothing weird about whatever it is that you enjoy, that's a part of you. There's nothing weird about it.
Hello, everybody. This is your host, Tick, joining you for There's Nothing Weird About It. And we're joined by two of my favorite people. We got Stan Ranch here, down in the lower corner, and then we have our other friend,
Johnny Jolly.
Johnny Jolly. Everybody knows him. I mean, he's a little notorious. So, you know what this show's all about. It's about bringing together just the most cutting edge, on the cusp minds, and so that's what we're doing right now. We've got Stan Ranch, and Stan,
Everybody?
basically, he's been doing some really interesting research on Rudy Giuliani, and something that I just recently learned about, which is the Royal Society of Jesters, which is a segment of Freemasonry, essentially. You know, you gotta get through with your 32nd or 33rd degree, then you get invited to be a Shriner, and then a Shriner, as you're helping some kid with polio limp around in some, children's hospital, he bumps you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, how do you like to go fuck a hooker later in a hotel?"
Right.
You're like, well, that sounds pretty good to me. And so, the Royal Society of Jesters,
Jolly good.
right? And some pretty interesting research in relation to that, and Rudy Giuliani that Stan's been bringing us here. So Stan, I want to give you the mic here.
When it comes to our friend Rudy, ooh, Rudy's been in the clown game for longer than we've been alive. He has an interesting take. You see, those of us in the clown game for as long as we've been around, we're trying to get to that same degree as Rudy. But you see, Rudy, his initiation rites into the Royal Society is much, much further along than any of us could possibly imagine. You see, America's mayor married his cousin.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
It's so great. You see, he's done all these different harmony routines, and his most recent of the what people think is it was an accident, Rudy dripping down his makeup.
A Rudy Giuliani, if you will, yeah.
It wasn't. You see, it's actually it is a filet of maman. But the thing is with Rudy, it's an initiation into his 33rd degree. You see, he had to be born again. In the same way that Crowley did with his assistant in Egypt when they went out there to the desert and they surrendered themselves to the immediate gods. Rudy had a bargain to fulfill with an unseen master. So, let's all give it up for Rudy, because he is the most recent initiate to the Royal Court of Jesters.
And speaking of, having a good time, let's just say that, what the Freemasons call mirth, we've got our friend, right here, and he's kind of the king of it. What's he doing? He's reveling in it.
You talking about me, love?
I am.
Alright. Yeah, I was in the Freemason bit. I was in plenty of other bands besides the Freemasons, but
right.
First started out in Liverpool in like I guess it was like 2016.
Okay.
We started this band called the Freemasons, and we were just fucking around, having a laugh. And it all turned out okay, but I will say it was very selective, much like the real Freemason that you're likely referring to.
Right.
Good band in all regards, though.
We could say that maybe you ascended to the next next degree, but the rest of the bandmates maybe weren't ready to do that with you.
Yeah, I've been ass-ended many times.
Got your goat.
I mean, the Brits like me are very fond of puns, puds, and all those kind of things.
Puddings
so
and puns,
I like to say that I ass-ended many times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for where's my gin bottle? Gone. Oh, here it is.
The life of a rock star, people. What are you gonna do? Little bit of dry gin?
Drop them bombs, I always say, ever since Thatcher was president.
Right.
You remind me a little bit. Inductee of the Justice Society? A man by the name of Ian Curtis.
Ian Curtis.
That's right.
Ian. Yeah, that's a British name.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you look a little bit like him. Oh, he was real close, but you see, he was a bit tied up, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, tell us a little about your relationship to Chris. I mean, you gotta forgive Stan. He's a little bit, a little rough around the edges. He's a little.
I'm missing a lot of things up here.
Okay. I thought maybe it just hurt your feelings a little bit because he was a close
No,
friend of yours
I
and stuff.
don't know what he means.
Right, you just don't kind of remember. It was a long time ago. I think it was about 1994. But I guess we could take it to a new subject. So can you tell us anything about being on the ground in Brexit? How crazy that is. Johnny, are you there? Johnny.
Johnny, can you hear me?
Johnny, can you hear me? Yeah. Right.
Riff for a bit.
It's a good.
Johnny, do you think they'll drop
Come
the
back,
bomb?
Johnny.
Okay.
Come back, Johnny. Come back.
If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. Scare you back to life right there.
Mommy?
It's pretty scary.
But do you think they'll drop the John?
Okay, well, let me tell you if the... Let me know if this jogs your memory. So, you were recently working with Nick Land. You helped lay down some of the synth tracks for, I think, what was known as one of his kind of, philosophy, sound pieces or whatever you want to call it. But you were kind of the brains behind it. You told him what to do, how to do it. He was just sitting there. He was like sucking on Sadie Plant's tit, and you had to help him off and be like, Nick, here's okay, take some Adderall. Here's a line of Coke. Just stay the stuff. But do you remember that? Do you remember that at all?
Who are you talking to, love?
I was talking to you.
Me? Yeah, I remember doing all kinds of. I mean, I did. Yeah. I don't remember that album in particular, but it was part of an overall thing that I was doing.
Right.
With many of these guys. What was it with the titties? I mean, I have a database in my mind with
Sadie Plant.
5 or 6.
She wasn't the prettiest British person, but she did get called the most intelligent British woman, I think, at some point.
Right, no, that was...
She's got real big teeth. She's got what you'd imagine would be kind of pancakey tits.
Yes, Sexy Sadie.
Sexy Sadie, that's right.
That was a whole joke.
You wrote that song too. I mean, I forgot. I'm a little embarrassed actually, but... Did we lose? Uh-oh. Looks like we lost John there. Stan, are you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm still here, Mr. Dick.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Good to see you here. Well, it looks like John, maybe had a problem with his connection there. But I know you were a fan of his music. So, not only a fan, but, as most things go with you, things are complex and multi-layered. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship, just kind of towards with that music?
I mean, the overall genre?
Well, in particular, John's work with the Beatles and what we were just talking about and everything like that. He's really had a hand in so much stuff.
Well, that's the interesting thing. When we talk about the circus, and how that means so much to so many young boys and girls growing up throughout the ages.
Mm-hmm.
There's music scenes that overlap. So wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. Because as a young person, you go to the circus or the carnival, and you see all the clowns and the juggling freaks. But as you get a little bit older, you find the circus in your heart, in your soul, in the music. And that's where people like John, working with the Beatles, or some of these other art groups or circus acts, if you will, provide an extenuation of the carnival within all of us. Because are we all not clowns at heart? Are we all not just broken things being rearranged in the trapeze on fire inside of our its collective psyche of hellish indoctrinations of sad brats played by little cherubs in the sky that keep you up every night at 3 a.m. going, oh, oh. And then you wake up and you go to your job. And that's where people like John come in. Because we need him to keep the AM stations alive inside of our souls. Oh. That's about it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Stan.
You're welcome.
I don't know if anybody could probably have said it better. There's a lot there, and, well, shit, people. If that doesn't leave you, your pineal gland popped, then, maybe do some more DMT. Because, okay.
Well, that's one place if you want to find the clowns spinning around in the golden town in your third eye chakra unbound. You hear the sound. It's an upside down frown. Clowns always sing that luscious sound. Oh, do you hear? Do you hear the cheer of the cherubs in the golden town? That's where our friend Rudy lives now. Oh, Rudy, you've been initiated. Oh, Rudy, you've been exsanguinated.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I don't... What a great, welcoming to Rudy, to the jesters. I don't know if there's a better welcoming committee than Stan.
We do our best to provide the wedding cake that his former self and his corpse will jump out of simultaneously. Life, death, rebirth. The alchemical cake that Rudy comes out of with the crown of the clowns who all dancing around. And simultaneously, a circus, a carnival, the horses are whoop-a-da-whoop-a-da. And that's where the purity lies, where Rudy tries, where we can't deny, where the angels fly. Rudy, welcome, my friend. You have performed well for your masters. You have done everything you were supposed to do. All of the tasks have been fulfilled. All of the grass has been vomited upon the unfulfilled and luscious treats that we walk by. Nasty peeps. Welcome, Rudy. Hold on.
That is such a great, again, a great welcoming, and, just, if anyone had any doubts in Rudy Giuliani, I think that Stan makes pretty clear that you know, just that there's really nothing to worry about. Okay? There's absolutely nothing to worry about. So please stop worrying, and we'll see you pretty soon. Thanks. Well, welcome back. I hope you guys had some time to think about that. Welcome back to There's Nothing Weird About It. I'm your host, Tick, and joined again by Stan Ranch, and we got our guest on here. Okay.
I'm glad to be here, folks.
You might have your camera face around.
Pardon me. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, there we are.
There you go.
There we are. That's
Yeah.
face.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Oh. Hey.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
So joined again by Stan Ranch and our brother
Billy
John.
Dugan.
Brother John. And he's having a wank, as the British say. We're all just hanging out. So just gonna want to come back together and basically
You put me on. You're having a laugh about that.
No, John.
You're having a laugh at me because I have my trousers showing. I'm not shy about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Here you got the United Kingdom, and you got the little part of Northern Ireland right there.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't mean to get political. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I get you. Basically, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to wrap up the show and kind of just talk to you guys again. And after everything we've kind of, been experiencing, watching together and stuff, any closing remarks kind of on anything in particular, or if not, then I'll, I can ask you guys maybe some specific questions that I've been kind of like some of the hanger-ons that I've, haven't been able to ask you guys. But if there's anything in regards to, Rudy Giuliani or, time travel or just, the not being able to, something as simple as not being able to go fishing with your kids. So I mean, everything is kind of is game. So what, any closing thoughts, I guess?
Well, one thing I would say when it comes to going on a fishing trip with your kids, or time travel, or just looking like you're in a early to mid 90s The Cure video. One of those music videos where they're going around the house and all this stuff is happening. But you know what? Right now, if not America, but the world needs a real hero. One of those heroes that persists through time and space. I think you guys know the type of hero I'm talking about. The Mothman. The Mothman, my friend. We need the Mothman right now more than ever. He's the
Okay.
true savior.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come and fly over our petty little souls, our soiled underpants full of grit and nastiness. You know, like before Carnival comes to town, the untouched ground, the soft and unique soil. Before the clowns and the acrobats come to dance the popcorn smell that you've never known before, but then you feel it in every single. We need the Mothman. And you, sir, if I'm not mistaken, is that not one of the hats of the Mothman? From the Point Pleasant. The way the bridge collided. Am I not mistaken? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've never been a big fan of all the
there's a
clown
point.
stuff, but yeah, I get what you're scratching at. I'm scratching at lots of places only.
That's a good way to prevent limey, which is the thing that Brits get, right?
You did your research before you.
Hey,
You did your
what
research
can I
before you
say?
did this, huh? Boy, caught red-handed. Well, yeah, I've got lots. I mean, every one of us wears lots of hats and lots of hair.
Who doesn't wear a hat?
Down there. And I think the boy or whatever his name was, he was really right when he talked about, but mostly it was about, I think if I remember right, the death of Diana.
Yeah.
I have lots of theories about it, and it seems like you guys are trying to, I'm sure, like right now in Britain, it's like 3 p.m., but I know both American, there's lots.
It's 3
that you
a.m.
gotta
in
get to
America.
sleep.
I mean, you know how that works. It's just on the
I
opposite
know,
side. So
and I wish that I didn't take up your time.
no, it's fine. We're
Sleeping.
I mean, we're flat earthers here anyway. It's like we know we're all on the same time.
What's that?
No worries. No worries.
What's that about?
We're all on the same piece of pie here, brother. Don't worry.
I mean, flat.
You want to have a cup of tea with me?
This is a pretty
It's all
big
the
conversation,
same.
probably for another time. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, the Earth is flat. And if you think it's an orb, then if you think it's a globe, then you probably got to reevaluate everything you think. Every single thing that you think probably needs to be reevaluated if you think that the world is a globe. Okay, just gonna put that out there. It's not something that I want my listeners to get worried about per se, but I would say it's something that should concern you. That's all I'm gonna say.
That guy, like, he fucking. Wait, I didn't even notice. He got a bunch of makeup on and shit, ain't?
Well,
Got a bunch of makeup on.
I mean, no more than you do. I thought that you had some makeup on as well.
Aren't you? You're wearing a bunch of makeup. I can see you.
No, I'm white as a sheep. Having no sun up here in Liverpool and stuff. I know it anyway. A lot of people are jealous of us. Like I'm taking 500 milligrams of vitamin D every hour. Because I don't get any.
Yeah, I know about that seasonal depression. I got to take vitamin D myself, but I mean, I don't.
Are you sad?
There's no such thing as a sad clown. Only a smile turned upside down.
Yeah. Can you disagree with that? I mean, I don't know. Not really.
I can't say much.
Yeah. There's not a lot to argue with there.
Been a big
Something I do want to ask you about was that, like, So one of the bands you were in.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the bands that you were in. One of the bands that you were in, John, was kind of like what people are calling the Jewish incubus. And is that because your bassist and your drummer are, live in Israel and are in the IDF and stuff like that, or is it because something else? Is like with lyrics? What's going on?
A lot of Americans don't. We're in the United Kingdom, which means you got to train to every terrible place you ever heard of. You got Israel. You got lots of other places, the awful place you can go. A little train that'll take you there. Yeah, we were in the Jewish incubus, as you put it. It's kind of funny because back in Liverpool when we were talking about making the group up, we was calling it Jinxubus, and it was kind of like this is the way a lot of these conversations go too. It all ties back around. We called ourselves Jinxubus, which was kind of like I don't know. I think back then, before all the cancel culture and all this stuff, we were thinking of we were making fun of Jews a little bit. We were calling it Jinxubus, and a couple of the guys in the band were from Israel.
People don't realize that it's like people don't realize that, like, for Great Britain, being Jude or jinxed out of something is the same thing as saying I was Indian gived something, right? It's like people don't get
right. I know. I just don't get this thing. I find it hard.
Yeah.
I've come on a couple of these kind of shows, and I find it hard to relate a lot of stuff that I'm talking about. But Jinxubus was kind of the core thing we started, and we all dressed up like it was like Kiss. We dressed up like jokers, and we dressed up like animals. We did all this, but we have like Israel anti-Zionist. We called this Jinxubus, and it was pretty good.
Cool.
It was like a cover band. I've been to Vegas and stuff. I've seen like the Beatles cover band.
Right.
But I appreciate it. Again, I do appreciate like all the research you do. It's called.
I love to research my guests. It's my favorite part of the job. So yeah, and I've been a fan for a really long time. Your last album in '97, my favorite one. What was it? The Jew, the Joker, and the what? And the Water Bearer, or something like that, or a Jew, a Heeb, and a something on the floor.
I think it was
something like that.
We called it. It was four of us. We called it Twinker, Liar, Jew.
That's it.
I was the Twinker.
Oh, looks like your cam cut out there for a second.
I'm sorry. I keep laughing about it.
It's okay. Oh, no worries.
No.
But yeah, no, it's a favorite of mine. Absolute favorite. Stan, did you have any remarks on that? Because guys, you guys have. I'm not sure if you guys maybe mutually influenced one another. But as you were saying, dress up as a clown, and he's or not dress up a clown, but it's Kiss makeup, and it's white. It's called whiteface, really.
It was about 45 years ago today that I visited Robert Smith somewhere around Liverpool, where he was hanging out in a park. He was just a lonely college boy, didn't know what to do with himself. He knew how to play bass guitar, that's for sure. But he didn't know how to be a clown. That's so sad. But I was there with a fifth of vodka and a song in my heart. And I helped little Robbie out. Poor little Robbie. He's not the man you know today. Oh no, not at all, friends. Little Robbie, he was just a little boy with sad tears. And I said, Robbie, take this paint and paint your tears into something truly powerful, something majestic, something that will make angels cry, that will cut holes in their wings and make them bleed, and they will fall down to the earth, and they will shatter. And the lowly apes on the ground will feast upon their lovely golden remains. Enough carcasses to last 33 winters. Beautiful, golden bowels of honey-filled suckling organs, delicious mites, not fit for a king, not fit for that of one who were not earthbound. But I tell you what, little Robbie, he got back 10:15 on a Saturday night, and the tap dripped under the strip light. Little Robbie, he kept painting his face forever and ever and ever again. And I think, John, you understand that. I think you understand.
No, I'm not seeing. I mean, it's,
Does that resonate with you much, John? Does that resonate with you?
stumbling all over my flat. Yeah.
Rockstar way of
No,
life.
I get where the clown man is coming from. I've come there many times, or I've been there many times before.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Mostly been around England and Liverpool.
Kind of Gloucestershire, I think is where you're from.
Yeah, it's called Gloucestershire. Cornwall is where I grew up. But I will say that
Where did you go
know,
to,
many...
Cornwall Joe?
Okay. Sorry, my girlfriend's bugging me.
My girlfriend just texted me too. That's so fucking weird.
I know that's
synchronicity.
I think they're all in the same. They all have the same. All their periods are synced.
Bloody terrible album. Synchronicity is one of the worst albums by the Police that I've ever heard.
That's the way.
Yep. Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of clowns. I always thought they were kind of like headmasters or whatever these other things that us British talk about all the time. Clowns, school teachers.
You
know, that's pretty much it. Mothers. I've only heard The Wall. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you mean the headmaster?
I guess. I think I turned off my...
I mean, the headmaster is just really...
Look, I'm not on enough drugs at all. I'm drinking only tea.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground.
Sorry, boys.
You in midair?
Whoops.
Ow. What?
Speaking
Send
of
in the
midair,
clown.
sounds like, yeah.
Isn't it bliss?
Wait a second.
Don't
Okay,
you
there we
agree?
What?
One who
Are you-
keeps tearing around.
Terry, are you okay?
One who can't move.
Terry, are you okay?
Sorry, I keep tapping the wrong thing. I'm all tapped out.
I know how that works.
Send in the clown.
Tap.
Is this working?
Tap, right?
I
So
can't
you
get
can't tap no
these
more.
things. I'm not. Let me see.
Just when he stopped opening doors.
I had a lot.
Finally knowing the one that wanted to be yours.
Okay.
Making my entrance
Okay.
again with usual fare. Sure of my lines? No one is there. Do you love farce? My fault, I fear.
Beautiful.
I thought that you would want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? They ought to be clowns. Quick, send in the clown. What a surprise. Who could foresee? I'd come to feel. What is real? Send in the clown.
You're waiting for the worms to come. Holy shit.
Speaking of the worms, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you, Stan.
I always love, like, there's always, like, poofters that are doing this poetry, and the way that non-poofters or ambiguously poofter kind of people can tell this poetry. I think it's very good. I think it's very proper.
Okay, for our non-English listeners, a poofter is a little pussy faggot.
Right?
Well, basically, us poofs sitting underneath the bridge with some coins. Some beautiful bitcoins, if you will. They're bits of coins. Mr. Tick, don't you know something about those bitcoins?
Thanks for reminding me, Stan. It's funny you mention it, actually, because, well, I actually have a Bitcoin right
It's
in
a
my pocket.
digital world. It's a digital world, ain't it?
It is a digital world, and if it's a digital world, you need digital currency, don't you? Because paper money, I don't have any in my pocket, do you? No. It's dirty, it has COVID on it, you don't want to put it in your mouth on it, you're not going to use it anymore to snort lines, and...
Never.
So...
Yeah,
right
think
here?
about you got the EU, and I always want to say PU to the
That's what I'm
EU
saying.
because I'm a Brexit kind
That's
of
what
guy.
I'm saying.
Yeah, what
And
you were saying.
These right here are genuine, non-EU, like, basically they're, when it comes to crypto, there's, UN and non-UN crypto, you could say. And this is non-UN crypto. This is pure American crypto, okay? Bang, bang, bang. Like, you can hear it. You can hear the quality in how heavy the coin is, okay? And these actually are going to get emblazoned with the Trump on them, of course. I'm going to get that 3D printed onto these as a circuit. It's gonna be fucking rad. It's gonna be so cool. You'll be able to scan this with your phone. Okay, you'll be able to scan this with your phone, and then you'll be able to, basically, if you scan one with your phone, the friend who has it, they will get 0.1 Bitcoin, and then you can get 0.01 Bitcoin for taking a picture of it, and eventually, it's gonna start racking up, baby.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, like a lot of people are anti-Semitic and
Why? Why?
I know, like I mean, I just think about. I don't know why I thought about it. Like currencies and such. We were talking about that. I'm going to talk about
Doesn't want some gold.
Immediately.
Why we gotta get off the gold, but it's not because I'm anti-Jewish. I know all the Jews have all the gold, but that's not why I promote Bitcoin. Right? I don't promote Bitcoin for anti-Semitic reasons.
No, this is like
yeah.
No, this is like a thought of the moment, brain fart. I think you Americans call it. Just thinking about currency, and my mind immediately goes, "Oh, the Jews."
Right.
But then, obviously, I'm not like that, and I'm not, I'm not. That was like a cliche kind of thing that I don't actually subscribe to.
You never want to fulfill the cliche.
Nope. Leave the slip. You
leave the slip. That's what Bond always said. Hey, leave the slip, alright?
I know. If a girl's got a slip, you probably should just leave right then, because if she's wearing a slip, like, that ain't worth it. That means trouble. Yeah. She's too fancy for you, mate.
Right.
Too fancy for you.
Say?
No. Dip the slip? I mean, that was always something me and my mate said.
Right.
Dip the slip was kind of like a little. It was like America. I had an American buddy that would always say "pink in the stink."
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that, I was on the Catholic Church.
Did you say you were on MDMA?
What was that?
You say you were on MDMA?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
It was long before that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was on exchange student over in America.
Okay.
And they kept.
She was on MDMA. The girl you were staying with. Yeah.
No. She wasn't on nothing.
Oh, okay.
She didn't need nothing. She was on back then when I went over. It was probably like 82 or something. I was on exchange. And they were always talking about pink in the.
Okay.
That's,
I've never heard of that before, honestly. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. What does that actually mean?
I think it's something.
Has to do with cotton candy. Ooh, pink cotton candy. Ooh, more for me, more for you, less for them. Too.
Bless you.
Okay.
Bless you, mate. No, I think it's something more to do with pigs. It was more like pork. So you had pink in the stink, and the fingers eating pork.
Right.
Muslim and stuff online. Uh-huh. So that was like one side, but they have like Muslims have more people than Christian. So you had two in the, like the pork was, the stink was like brown. It's the way beef looked, and so we always back when I was, we would say two in the pink, just to remind ourselves that Muslim majority, and then but it reminded me of that phrase. Fuck, what was it? What the fuck was it?
Two in the pink, one in the stink.
Yeah, but
when the beef curtains go down, there's no one around.
That's nice. There you go.
You're a clown. You're a clown, ain't you?
I saw.
I was thinking about
Or is what you
I
people
met
call it.
Stan at Burning Man. That's kind of another story. I mean, I met both of you guys at Burning Man. It was different years, but I mean, to me, it felt like the same time, parallel timelines, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Burning Man's
You were
alright.
riding around on a unicycle, and then Stan was sitting cross-legged with
That's right. I remember that.
just draped in this black cloak. There was like it was almost like a yurt that people. It was just folding off of his head, and people were all in it underneath it. And who knows what was happening underneath that yurt, right? Who knows? They called
this
it.
is where we all
they said,
met.
This is my
Well,
tiny
that's the
tent.
riddle. That's
My
the
tiny
riddle.
tent.
What is the body without
Never thought about
organs?
living in a tiny tent.
It's a big tent.
Who knows? Who knows, Stan? Who knows, Stan?
The body without organs, a big black tent.
You're crazy. You're a crazy clown. But people had a great time. People had a great time.
You just blew my mind because I forgot that we all met at Burning Man. That's fucking crazy, man.
Isn't it? Isn't that crazy?
I know.
It's kind of
my God,
kind
it
of
all
in the
makes
theme of
sense
tonight. I
now,
talked to a
too.
lot of people that I've just, burners, they've just been like calling up. Hey, what do you think about COVID? What the fuck's going on? What are you doing? You want to fucking chat? And so that's kind of how it started. Part of the way it started, at least, at the very least. At the very fucking least.
No, it all started back with...
And you were fucking playing. I mean, you had a set there. You played fucking.
I know.
You were playing some Stroke songs. Oh my god, that was the shit. Playing Stroke songs just on guitar. It was the best shit. With flames just around you. It was fucking sick. I won't forget that.
It was fucking top.
Yeah, it was top. That's what you said. Yeah.
I mean,
You taught me that word that
my
night.
God.
Yeah.
It's like another land.
Yeah.
The Burning Man's like another land. Which kind of reminds me of Nickland.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
talking about earlier. We
friend of yours.
exhausted that. But yes, I remember you and Bozo and me were at the Burning Man, and it was like 1999 or something.
Right.
And we
That was it, yeah.
we all met. Like everyone was leaving. Everyone was like leaving. It was like the last day, and everyone was leaving. And I was sitting there, going, "Hey, can I get a lorry or catch a ride?"
Right. Yeah.
And you had like a bunch of people going by, and they're all freaks and weirdos. And, one guy.
Bunch of carnies.
I think I was saying, hey,
Silicon
you want
Valley
shots of Jameson?
Right.
You want shots of Jameson? I got shots of Jameson for a ride. No one was picking up because there were all these Silicon Valley weirdos leaving, going back to their computers, and you stopped, and you were like, "Hey, guy seems like all right. Seems like a good bloke." And then you and I were like, "Okay, well, that's both of us. 2 thumbs better than 1." And we kept hitching, and then old Bozo comes along on his unicycle, like he's covered in all this dust. Rich people, all this dust.
Rich
And
people
he
farts
comes
is what we
along
call them
too.
at Burning Man.
Yeah, I mean, more
Well,
like
we were all clowns that night.
It's true. I mean, that's why you were the real man. I mean, instead of Burning Man, I would call you Real Man, and I would think that you were the real man. There was and you stopped, and that was it. I think that was the whole thing.
That's how you
It
met.
was just you, me, and Tick, and we all went into the tent.
We all listened to the
Taking it
Nick
down.
Land tape.
Yeah, no, we were all listening to that, and we had the hookah, and we had the hashish, and we had all the drugs like ketamine, and we had Xanax,
MDMA. Oh god. MDMA and hookah, personally, it's just like my go-to. So that's.
Yeah, I think we're out of the Xanax completely.
Yeah.
No, we're out of the MDMA. We're out of all the good ones. So we're down to like the ketamine, and we're down to like the hookah, and we're down to like the I don't know, something worse. The black tar, but only the part that was like the fake.
The horse magic powder.
No, we're like down to the whole, just down to the whole shit. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys were like, we had them just like just the fucking. We had the hookah, but it was like we were putting on stuff on there that wasn't hookah juice and fiber.
I'm pretty
And
sure
we-
that I didn't tell you guys this, but there was this one guy who was walking around, and he had like a long, like he had strung out his nipples. You know, he'd been stretching them probably the whole festival, and I got a little bit of that juice just from what he had going on. Put some of that
That
in
was the
there.
best.
I mean, that's the shit.
That was the best of it, man.
Yeah. Doesn't really get much better than that. I don't know.
Yeah, that was.
What happens in the
I feel like
desert
an old
stays in the
man
desert.
now.
Yeah, I mean that was only 4 years ago, but Burning Man ages you like nothing else. But by the same token, it makes you so much younger. So it's kind of a win-win. You become wiser and you become more beautiful. Okay, so if you haven't gone, you should go. I don't know how much the price tickets are. Whatever, doesn't matter. You should fucking go.
We got a coupon. We got a coupon code though.
Yeah, that's true. We do have a coupon code actually. For the
I
show.
don't remember.
Stan, do you remember the coupon code? Because it's a hashtag and it has something to do with, I mean, this show. And I feel like it's just maybe appropriate that you maybe deliver it for people. Hashtag.
Standing this.
Standing, yeah. Hashtag Standing Ranch.
Stan. Hi there, mate. Hi there.
Send in the clown.
That's it, baby. Send in the clowns. So if you can remember that,
For all of you accelerationist dorks out there, send in the clowns. If you're waiting for a soft landing, if you know what I'm saying, send in the
Nick
clowns.
of time. Just in the nick of time, you got that soft landing.
that's right. That's right, people. I mean, that's right. I don't know, what else there is to say, honestly, about it.
When it's all breaking down and you hear the soft sound of accelerationism drown, send in the clowns.